Hey, what's good, everyone? Look, Last Man here. I got a skate boot sitting in front of me right here. This thing is definitely worth taking a peek at. Look at those blades right there. You got 3 blades on this bad boy right here. And these blades are held on with these, I'm just gonna call them furniture bolts, because that's why I see them, man. And you'll see here why in a minute why I call them furniture bolts. But someone donated a bunch of equipment to us, some sticks, some skates, some rollerblade stuff, and this was in the box. You know, thanks, Mike. Definitely appreciate everything you donated to us. I don't know where this came from. This Rebellion, basically it's the Rebellion 3D Blade 5500. It's a Swedish, no, it's not a Swedish skate, but the blade, the metal stuff is Swedish. Here, let me read some information about this thing while you guys are taking a look at it right here, and really take a close look at that tri-blade system right there. I got some information online through eBay, because there's not too much about this information, about the skates, I should say. There's people trying to sell them on eBay. But basically what it says right here, it's engineered and manufactured in Sweden using cutting-edge, high-performance, heat-malleable materials. The 3D R5500 skate features a patented 3D blade system, which is actually 3 blades in 1. Specifically designed to enhance performance, the skate delivers faster skating, sharper turning, and increased endurance. When skating forward, you mainly use the center blade. Surface sharpening for the highest speed. The center blade is about 3 times the width of conventional blades. Designed to glide on the ice instead of digging into the ice like a conventional blade, offers less friction for faster, less laborious skating. When turning, the radius sharpened side blade takes over, ensuring the entire blade grips the ice without gouging it. With the Rebellion skates, you would never have to worry about sharpening your blades again. And that's where I call kind of BS on that one, because there's no way a blade will never need to be sharpened. I don't care. You can see right here. It's actually not this one. The other blade I'll show you here in a minute. There's tons of rust on it. Yeah, it's an old skate, but skates do get rusty sitting in guys' bags or people's bags. As well as, like, you know, you have to walk from the locker room to the ice. You don't put your skates on the ice. You have to walk, you know, from the player benches or the public skate area, locker rooms to the ice. So there's going to be a good chance over time that you're going to step on a rock, a hair clip from the figure skaters. There's tons of stuff between the locker rooms and the ice that you can step on that could ding your blade up, even a little bit of ding. Especially, and I like to call it our skate sharpening service, the spaces between the mats you can step between, and it dings your blade up in the concrete. You know, it's always, I tell the guys, that's why I don't always change the mats. That's how we get our skate sharpening business going. You guys stepping on the concrete. So I just don't see a blade that can never be sharpened, because that's just I don't know, a fool's dream or whatever you want to call it. Like, nevertheless, like, when I first got this skate here, or was looking at this, I kind of thought it was 3 blades sandwiched into one, and maybe you could adjust this center blade in or out or something, or the side blades based on, you know, whatever they're trying to think. So, but no, it's not like that. So basically you have these, again, I call them furniture locking nuts. So you basically turn them a half turn, and I already have the blade on this other one. So once you get them half turned here, I don't know if I'm going to pop this one out, because I'm not sure. And these things right here are plastic. You can tell it, because at first I wasn't really sure what these things were doing. So I kind of overturned a couple of them. So make sure these things are all going the same way here. So they're in the unlocked position here. Let's see if I can pop this one out here. If I can't, you know, I don't want to deal with that, because this is, I got one over here. So here you go. Here's the other one right here. I got loose. And it's a little easier to pop out, except this last part right here seems to get stuck in there. So this is kind of what it looks like. It's just one blade with 3 levels, I guess. So you can see, as I said, there's a center blade right here. I'm sorry about the focus. There's a center blade right there, and you got the 2 outer blades. And so what they're saying, basically, let me do it so you guys, camera doesn't focus on my hand there. So basically what they're saying is you skate on the center blade going straight. So I guess if you're like this, you skate on the center blade going straight, and when you turn, you're going to be on your outer edges or outer blades right there. Yeah, you know, in concept it makes great. Things always look good in paper, but in practice, obviously this thing's not around anymore, so it can't be too great. someone's kind of idea. But you see this one? This one's got tons of rust on it. So you're gonna get rust on your skates if you don't take care of them. I've seen tons of rust on skates that come in here, but there's no way you could sharpen this thing. Maybe some specialized equipment with some specialized knowledge. I mean, you could always take a file, I guess, or you know, get this rust cleaned off pretty well. But there's no way you're gonna ever get these edges back to new. Especially if you step on a rock or a hairpin or in between some concrete. Well, let's face it, this blade's not wide enough to fit through the cracks in the mat there. So you got these little posts right here tacked on. And I can't ever get if there's a front and back to this thing right here. Let me see. So that doesn't really want to go in that way. Yeah, so there really is a front and back. It doesn't go in the same way. So basically when you get this thing in and you turn this locking mechanism, there are just these fingers that roll over. It's kind of like you see in the furniture, and it's kind of roll over like this and yank it down, and then take it off, you just unloosen it that way. So that's kind of what's happening with these little locking mechanisms here. Put that back on there. We'll just lock down the first two right there. Just for it, because this is just for show at this point. Like, this is going to be I thought it may be a good collector's item, but these things are kind of worthless just based on the blade itself. You know, yeah, interesting concept. Let me know if you guys have seen something like this, if you use something like this, and your thoughts about these concepts. Because I've seen 3 blades before and 2 blade systems, but those are mostly training skates. So I don't really, you know, on a professional or higher level skating, I just don't see why you would use something like this. If these were size 13s, I would strap them on and kind of see how they glide across the ice there. I might find someone one day to want to skate on them and kind of give their opinion, because if you're standing straight up on the ice skating, I guess you're going to be just on that center blade, but as you go one side or the other, they're going to be on the outside edge. And they said, I just find it amusing that they say that you will never need sharpening with this blade right here. It's impossible. Like, the blade itself may never go dull, but you may step on something. That's just something. It's just, most of the skates I see are dull because people have stepped on something between especially the player benches, man. I'm sorry, our matting's horrible over there. Like, there's some spots between the matting that you could definitely step. Now, honestly, I didn't really get when they said, oh, matting, you know, player bench doors. Like, until I started playing hockey and stepped between the matting with my own skates. Oh, that's what they're saying. The door's sticking. Oh, I mean, trying to get over the player bench door open. Oh, that's what they're talking about. Because when I first started here, I was playing basketball and soccer, so I didn't really ice skate. It wasn't until I started ice skating until I really understood what they're talking about. And, you know, yeah, I got matting there. We've had to replace matting, especially in front of the player bench doors where people step to get on the ice. There's a spot where they step. It's just always getting dug out and stuff. So we definitely need new matting for the player benches. Different story, different time. I just want to show you these skates right here because they're kind of unique right here. I don't know what else to add to this other than, like, wow, what were they thinking? Like, this is definitely a European thing. I thought it was just Swedish metal, but it's a Swedish blade, and you can tell right here, this whole thing right here, this whole look seems kind of, you know, European-ish back in the day. So heavy skates too. I mean, for whatever size these things are. So it says at 14, 42, 43. So I'm not sure exactly what size these are. I'm gonna peg these things at a size 10 probably, maybe an 11. So, like, I'm trying to keep under the 10-minute mark here, so I don't think there's much more I could add to this other than, like, some pretty wild and wacky stuff that came out of the 80s and 90s or whatever this was developed. I try to get a date there when this came out. When I was looking at some research on the internet, I did see people make references to Rebellion brand. I guess they make some other, you know, gloves and padding and stuff like that. So they're a company. I don't know if they're still around or not, but when you make something like this, I don't see how you could stay around for very much long. So, like, all right, I'm just having some fun with this. I don't think there's much more out of this. Those are the skates right here. Pretty trippy looking things. That's all I have, guys, today. Thanks for watching. As always, hope you learned something. And like the localized man says, stay cool.